blues is the mother of the roots of all music, blues and gospel. The blues is the mother of music, period. If you don't like the blues, you probably don't like your mama. And that's, Bobby Ray said
Simplifies
that.
things.
Yeah.
On Soul Country Podcast number 2, I sat down with multi-Grammy-winning blues and funk legend Bobby Rush. We talked about his storied career and the intersection of country blues and the country life. I'm Rick Stewart, a community radio DJ since 1986, an award-winning filmmaker adding some real-life podcasting to get deeper into soul country. Tales from the intersection of bluesy Americana and countryfied R&B. Listen in as we revitalize our cultural roots in westerns, blues, and variety. And now, a word from our sponsor. Ace Production produces Soul Country for the Blues Center. Ace offers consulting and video production, YouTube channels, digital strategy, and team building for companies large and small. To ace your production, access acedust.com. Well, Bobby tuned up his guitar, brandished his harp, and regaled us all with some tall tales from the Chitlin Circuit. And here's how it went down.
Be honest with you, I get my ideas from what I know, what I believe, what I heard, what I went through, and people that I love and respect in this music. And I can give you a name, but I can tell you I love the blues because I'm a blues man. But I love country and western because they talk the story and they talk that I understand and relate to. Because country guys talk about ups and downs, ins and out, arts, ugly, sweet, good looking or bad, or what have you. And I can relate to that, man. I can relate to that, and maybe that's why I like country western so well. One of my first country western songs that I fell in love with, this guy had a song called You Get the Hook and I Get the Pole, babe. You get the hook and I get the pole. We're going down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Man, I thought that was the S, man. Yeah, it wasn't nothing no better than that,
Then you also had Nikki Hokey was another track that totally says soul country to me.
That was a big record from a New Orleans kind of a style. Because being from Louisiana, it was. Some people probably didn't know that was a language in the Nikki Hokey. Called Nikki Hokey is a language itself. Pookie poo is like, ooh, pookie poo you, Nick, golly, Miss Molly. Everything is copathetic now. That's Cajun talk. Creole. Yeah. Golly, Miss Molly. Everything is copathetic now. Look at poo. Look at you. Oh, what I want to do to you. That's Cajun talk, man. Mm-hmm. That's looking at a bow-legged woman and saying, "Wow."
and you brought back Pookie Poo at some point, right?
Yeah.
A little Pookie Poo.
Yeah, Pookie Poo. Yeah,
classic.
Pookie Poo, and plain language mean, God, you look good. You look Pookie, a pretty woman. Pookie Poo, you my Pookie Poo. You my Pookie Poo mean, hey, I like you and I want you to be mine. And we come up with this thing, porcupine meat, man.
Grammy winner.
And Grammy winner. And my first Grammy. Let me tell you what's interesting to me about this first Grammy. First Grammy at 83 years old. My first record I ever cut in Louisiana, although I'm a Louisiana guy. I was born in Louisiana. Left and went to Arkansas. And every musician that Scott High is from Louisiana except one guy, Bastille Jackson from Mississippi, who's been a band leader for me for many, many years, cut over 150 songs with me, different songs through the years and what have you. Just a friend and a good player and good producer, good everything, all around kind of a guy.
And engineer. A devoted country music guy, too.
Yes,
he's got the Jimmy Rogers album.
Yes.
And that's where the licks are sometimes.
Yeah. And it happened. That was the best thing ever happened to me in my life. Winning a Grammy is an upper by itself. But from Louisiana and had all Louisiana musicians except one guy, Bastille, I was in heaven, man. So then the virus came in. So then I said, well, I got some stuff in the can. Let's pull it out. I didn't tell anybody. Everybody thought I went to the studio to record it, but I didn't go to the studio to record again. I had it already recorded. I just went and picked the songs out. But for the first time, I picked out 4 songs in the can were did by other people that I respect so highly. I may have had about 8 or 10 songs, but I tried to pick the Mississippian because I live in Mississippi with Muddy Waters, Sonny Boy, and M.O. Jane, people like that, and do the songs that they did and kind of uplift them because I looked up to them when I was a kid, when I was a young man. This is who I look forward to keep me alive as a music man. So I want to do that to show the love and respect where I got my grip from as a blues man. And I put it out, won a Grammy. Raw the Raw.
And so that was, you wrote a little special dedication to Howlin' Wolf on the back too, right?
Yeah.
So that was, but he wasn't just another guy you play with. This was an inspirational figure,
that was
right?
a special figure. I liked it Howlin' Wolf because he was so different and good. I liked him Muddy Water because he was dressed so well, so dap. I like Louis Jordan because he writes so well. I like Smokey Robinson because he's such a good songwriter. I like Ray Charles because he played piano so well and he delivered so well. I like Stevie Wonder because he dynamics and height and he writes so well. There's so many people I like because of whatever reason I like him from. I like Howlin' Wolf because he was so different and so good with the vocal. Where you going, Bobby Rush? And so many things I like about different artists. But I think Louis Jordan probably turned me on more than anybody. Louis Jordan. I liked James Brown because he was so funky and so clever. Because James Brown could take a song and do things with it no one could do. Because he wasn't per se the singer, but he had a way of phrasing, make you think he could.
A rhythmic genius.
Yes. I'm known as the king of the children's circuit. And most of the time, the children's circuit clubs and festivals pay more than the white clubs and festivals. But playing a white club, it makes you look bigger, like you're a bigger artist, and give you the bigger spread in your name, and it takes you places that you've never been. At least it takes you places people think that you somebody. You this big artist. But I have crossed over. And now I'm such a blessed man to cross over and never cross out. I'm one of the few men have crossed over and haven't crossed out. I don't want to get into name calling. I can name you some black players and blues singers that very, very known with white audience, white fans. And black people don't know who they are.
Your advice to somebody who is 15, 16, looking at the career ahead is to stay close to your vision, right?
You stay close to your vision, stay close to your root. Because if you're a black man or a black woman, you should never get out the realm of who you are. Build that within your people. One thing I have built with my people is fan and my loyal to my fan and they're loyal to me. I don't say every time I'll make a whole lot of money, but I have a whole lot of fans. Black fan because I'm a black man. I have a whole lot of white fans because I'm a black man. But I didn't always have that. But it always been where I was popular among my people. So now I have crossed over. But I always, and I speak to Jeff DeLeo about this a lot, and he's so kind to understand that I want to cross over, but I don't want to cross out. And a lot of people, a lot of black men and women have crossed over. Probably not intentionally, but they're crossed out.
And what used to be blues and rhythm and blues has changed a lot and it's gone through a lot of time has changed things.
Time has changed, but I want to be careful about answering you with that. Time has changed. But if you research the changes of the time and what have changed, so many things remain the same. It's just that we are motivated to change our strategy. Most time it comes from record companies and management. Because the black guy gets managed by white manager and most of the time. They want them to change because they can get job working for white clubs and white festivals where white fans are, thinking that that'll put them in another position financially. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. But I think of man, if he's talented, he should spread his wing to all people, black or white, and work for. I try to work for all. It's getting to the point now where I can't spread myself so thin that I don't have the time to work a lot of the black clubs I used to work. But I still try to work as many of them that I can because I want to be known and go down in history. I was a man that crossed this bridge and never changed and never sold out.
Way to be, man. So, yeah, my thinking on that, too, is like at the very, very core, there's a song. You need to have that. And you need to have a performer who's got honesty, genuine, like an artist and a voice maybe. There's about I probably need a rhythm. But there's only like these ingredients have to be there.
Yeah, and I'm laughing when you said that because of all the interviews I have done, I never had nobody to ask me what you just asked me. I tell people all the time, first you need a song. Now the song have to fit in where you're known or where you're working. You don't sing My Baby, She Gone, I'm gonna F you in the church. That's the wrong place for that. If you know your audience, know your area where you're going, you just don't go live in China and say, I don't like rice.
You got to come up with some rice material.
You know, you come with the rice material. You don't come to Mississippi and don't know about catfish. You know what I'm talking about, you know? You don't go to Memphis, they ain't heard of good barbecue. And on and on. You know, but you got to write into where are you going? You say, well, am I going to a school this morning where kids from 6 to 12, what songs are you going to sing? What direction that you're going to try to take them? It's the same thing. If I have a white audience, I don't try to take a white song to a white audience, a black song to a black audience. I try to take a good song and perform it well.
You want to throw in a little music break? Maybe we should do something with the harp where you talked about Little Walter with the Chess Records label is a hit maker and a guy who made it happen, right?
Yeah, he was there at Chess, but he wasn't the only one that influenced me in that time period. That was Sonny Boy Williamson. You know, they influenced me, and Junior Parker. Nobody never talked about it, but Junior Parker was this guy. You know, they influenced me. There was a guy called Big Walton. I don't know why he calls himself Big Walton, because he was as good a player, if not a better, than Little Walter, but he never got the credit for things he did. And there was a few guys around who played, but most of them was copies.
It was Junior Wells eventually.
Yeah, it was
a little younger.
Yeah, a little younger. But he could play, but he was a copy of Sonny Boy. And most of the other guys came up was a copy of
and Carrie Bell.
And Carrie Bell
yeah,
was a copy of Little Walter. But I came up listening to Little Walter. I live at 1223 Albany. Little Walter lived at 1229 Troy. There was a 2-street back to back. I could walk out of my back door, throw a little rock on his porch, and we would talk across the porch. That's what we was in the early 50s. He lived right there until he passed.
And that was when you were a new Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Walter was the best harmonica player around. He was the best thief in the world. When I said thief in the world, I would take my harmonica and I would say, and I would hear that same lick a month later on one of Muddy Waters' songs as a recording studio. Because he could take it and do what you couldn't do with the song. He was a harp player.
And he could do just an instrumental, and it was lights out.
Yeah, right? God, yeah. You know, he played the harp like a horn player, a lot of horn player. You know, I'm a harp player, and I think that I go down in history when I'm dead and gone. People to talk about this, that I play harp, but I play different from most people, and I guess I'm about the only guy around play. I'm a right-handed person, but I do everything left-handed. You know,
Does that include guitar? Or
no, I play guitar right-handed, but I finger it instead of push it up, pull down. Albert King do the same thing. Those are
that's
things
the bend on the bending notes?
Oh, yeah. Bending note is a pull, not a push. You know? And my harmonica, I have a harmonica in my hand now. And the first time I'm talking about this, I reverse it.
It's the upside down harp.
Yeah.
So high is on the left.
Yes. Yeah.
So are there any secrets I need to know? I played some basic blues harp, but I put it down. So
well, the basic blues you get note for notes like
scale.
Scale. But Walter was playing scale. It was like a scale. But my scale would be have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed enough love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed enough love? Out of all of me and my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back home, people, I'm gonna buy myself a truck. And when my garbage can't get full, I'm gonna take it a dumping way, way, way out in the woods. Which don't have anything to do with Little Walter. But he was the greatest. He taught me one thing: be yourself.
Great lesson in life as well.
Life.
Okay, so there was two Sonny Boy Williamsons. There was John Lee Williamson, who's actual sounds like it should have been his name, and then there was Rice Miller.
Rice Miller,
and he was the harp wizard.
He was the harp wizard. He was the harp, and the lyrics story. To me, he was a talented one. That's to me personally. He was the one. You know, don't start me to talking. Tell everything I know.
Yeah, One Way Out. And,
One Way Out. Oh, God,
yeah.
please, man.
This stuff turned into rock and roll staples,
man,
too.
Please. Oh, my God.
They were durable songs.
Oh, man.
Heavy. And Bring It On Home.
Bring It On Home.
So that song still kills me. But I learned about that from Led Zeppelin in 1972 or whatever. And I was like a 5-year-old kid. And like, what is going on here? You know, when that riff got electrified, it was just another level. But that's that thing you're talking about, because there was like the acid blues. The rock artists went back to blues and they got some more. You know, like they doubled down on it, right?
A fun thing you would mention this. This interview here could go down in history. You know, you're looking at the only man that ever crossed from where I came from to here. Let me tell you what happened with me now. They also done this week a Broadway play on my life. I can talk about it, and they've been signed. Done a Broadway play on June. The first run is in June 28th, I believe it is. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's my life. Let me show you what I'm saying. I left Louisiana in 1947, went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, by the way of Memphis to St. Louis, myself, Chuck Berry, Albert King, early 1951 to Chicago. From that time to this time, I recorded 397 records. I've been up for a Grammy 5 times, won 3. Been up for Blues Award 31 times and won 18 of them. Point I'm getting to is there's nobody that's living have crossed this bridge. B.B. King didn't make it across this bridge to do what I have done. Chuck Berry didn't make it across this bridge to do what I have done. Certainly Sam Cooke. And we'll find out that Prince just didn't die. Michael Jackson just didn't die 100 years from now. But I'm saying that because I got this Broadway play I'm doing on Bobby Ray's life. It said I slipped through the crack. I'm here in Jackson, Mississippi. When you walked in my house, but I protected myself from all the things around me that make me look like I was here, and I was here all the time. Look like what I was not doing, I was doing all the time. Point I'm getting to is there's nobody in the blues segment who have had his labor and did a Grammy on his label, Blues Man. 5 years ago, I had the box set of the year with 75 or 80 masters of my box set. And too many people did it because ain't too many people own that many masters of themselves to put on one.
Right. So you're getting back to the core too, which is the writing.
That's like writing, publishing. I didn't know what I know now. I've been taking a ride financially for everything. But now it's come back. But even those are songs that I've written in portion, I got taken after 35 years is back. Point I'm getting to, God have marked my wheel, and you mark it and you roll it down a hill, and the mark will come back to you. At my age of time, the mark have came back. It's not many guys have done that. Not that I'm smart, just that I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I did a whole lot of things I shouldn't have done. Went a whole lot of places I shouldn't have went. But I went a whole lot of places and did a lot of things was good for me. But one thing I have learned that I don't know anything. And when a man tell what he know, he won't talk long because man don't know nothing. And I know that out of all the interviews that I've done here for the last 10 or 15 years, this is one of the better interviews that I've did in a long time, maybe in my life.
Appreciate you, man. Well, it's coming from the same place. We share the love of the same stuff.
Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you plan to do, because what you say about me, what people perceive me to be. And this means a lot to me for what you stand for.
It's what I used to call a transparent showcase.
That's right.
Like I let people
Stay
be
there.
them.
Be them.
But that's soul country too, because it's like a place where you get found. It's like find your real self.
That's right.
But I think a lot of us are aiming at the same place, whether we consider ourselves artists, which sometimes I do, but we're all trying to become whatever that is, a validated individual who strove for something, accomplished it, stayed true to the goals. There's a few other things you could add.
I don't know what we all wind up with the same place or not, because I'm not speaking about what you said.
No, we try.
We try, because it's not that you so good. I said before, I'm so blessed. I'm a blessed man. Oh, God. I'm a blessed man to have you come by to do this interview with me. I'm a blessed man. I have 397 songs, man. At my age, I can remember at least 280 of them.
And some of it is the work ethic and the drive that kept you paying attention, and you stayed active in this process, right?
Because when I sit down to recite songs of mine, I can just... In a little shack down by the bay, not far from New Orleans, I met this pretty woman that when I was about 19. She went and told her daddy she wanted to marry me. The look on her dad's face really was a sight to see. He said, "Get out of here with you, and don't you come back no more." Well, I wanted to meet her daddy like a young man oughta, but he didn't want no blues singer like Bobby Rush to get married to his daughter. Because when I went by the house that day, he met me at the door with brother and sister, big brother John, a damn dog named Bo, singing, "Get out of here, don't you come back no more." Well, her brothers and sisters sick the dogs on me and made them tear up all my clothes. I was running fast trying to get away down a dusty road. I was running real fast trying to get away, and I crossed a railroad track. I could hear the kid throwing rocks at me every time I stopped to look back, saying, "Get out of here and don't you come back no more." Well, I sneaked down to get married. The judge said, "You solemnly swear to take this woman for your lawful wife and not a one-night love affair." Before I could open my mouth to say I do, guess who walked through the door? Dad, Mom, big brother John, the damn dog named Bo. What I thought right then, if I wanted to get married, I had to find a way to elope. I decided to go to Las Vegas to get away from her nose and folks. As soon as I got to Las Vegas, that same day I walked in, that was all the kin, all the friend, the damn dog again. I said that to you, let you know that I can do all of my song almost like the same way.
Mm-hmm. Now that was on Porcupine.
That's on Porcupine.
So I love that because it's so funky. You got any like good groove ones? That's this element you brought into this thing where the funk is right there with the blues. You know, it's so good.
Well, you know, I bring the funk into, but that's a blues side of me. That's a blues side of me. I was on stage about a week ago, and the guy said, "Who one of your favorite guys that you recorded on your last CD?" I said, "Elmo James." And I started playing a little song like this. I'm gonna get up in the morning, I believe I'll dust my broom. I'm gonna get up in the morning, Lord, I believe I'll dust my broom. I done found me another woman. Now, girl, you can have my room. I'm gonna write a letter till I grant every town I know. I'm gonna write a letter till I grant every town I know. If I don't find her in Mississippi, maybe I'll find her in Chicago.
That leads me to ask you about the album "Sitting on Top of the Blues," because it sounded like "Sitting on Top of the World," but it was a different flavor.
Different flavor, and that's where it's coming from. Sitting on top of the blues. The reason I didn't want to do "Sitting on Top of the World," sitting on top of the blues, because I am one of the few guys who's sitting on top of my game. That means I know quite a bit about publishing, the writers, how to go by doing it. And I'm one of the few old men like myself at 80-something years old, pretty savvy in my phone and how to get things done, computer-wise. Because if you don't, you're out of it. Everything is computer now, man.
Okay, let's talk about what you mean because I use the word raw. I used to have a TV show called Raw Music. What do you mean when you talk about raw?
Well, what I meant when I did my raw and raw, I had put out a raw. Raw was like stripped down. Well, how you get stripped down lower than stripped down? Raw than raw. I said, this way I'm going to do a record where there's no overdub, nothing but my feet. If you don't pick it up, you don't get it. If you mess up, it's messed up. If you got it, you have it. No overdub, no say, let's take it in. No, let's try it again. Get it better. What you got first time, that's it.
And that album has Boney Maroney on it.
Yeah.
Because I always love those Larry Williams tracks. We talked about this a little bit before we started. But so he was a very super influential, but a short career.
Yeah.
He did some stuff with Little Richard, too.
It was just with Little Richard. He was, I can't think of the guy. Oh, God, he'd kill me if I can't think of his name. Short, lively. Big Bad, talk about the Big Bad Dog.
Jim Croce.
Yeah. Them two guys remind me of each other because both short lived, was so great. Great songs and great inspiration. I did this, God, they had it.
As I recall the story from Specialty Records, we were recording in New Orleans, although they were based in California, and they'd gotten Little Richard's hits. One, and then Little Richard was going to join the ministry or something. Yeah. And that was when Larry Williams shows up miraculously with like 5 hit songs in 3 years or whatever.
But you know, if I could speaking about that, and I know just last week they done a documentary on Little Richard, and I just left New Orleans last week. They wanted somebody to talk about him back in that knew him, that living, to talk about his past and the involvement. So they found me, and and we talked about some things.
So now, what year would you say you first started bumping into Richard?
1955. 1955.
And so he was already starting to have the hits then?
Oh, yeah. He wasn't big, but he was big.
Like Tutti Frutti or something, like it was next year maybe?
Yeah. He wasn't big at all. Just trying to get in the game like I was, like everybody else was doing it.
And he was super country too.
Oh,
in reality.
Are you coming? He and Ray Charles. You don't get no country and Richard and Ray Charles, man. Come on. Oh, God, was he country?
Yes, he believed he was going to sing some country albums, but he wasn't kind of allowed to at Atlantic. And then he got his own artistic freedom.
He didn't want at that time. He didn't want Atlanta to have the footage of what he wanted to do. He wanted to do it, but he wanted to own it and control it.
So I want to plug that back into what we said a minute ago. Okay, maybe it wasn't about being an artist. That's too highfalutin for the country. But being a bluesman, you were not taking an ordinary job. You knew you were getting into a show business or entertainment. I mean, you were becoming part of the whatever. I'm not a working guy with punch the clock.
I knew that early, though. I knew I had the similar. I knew I had the know-how. I didn't know about the money. I just knew I had what it takes to make people laugh, because I'm really a stand-up comedian. You can hear that through my songs. And I got my first job with Red Fox. He said, I got a job. The guy will pay you $7.50 for a band leader, but he also give you $7.50 for a comedian. I said, okay, I'll take it. So the guy come in, he said, well, Red Fox told me you're a comedian, so I like the way you play. I got $10. Red Fox told me the guy had $7, but he said, I got $10 if you can make me laugh. I said, I can make you laugh. He said, you can? It's okay. Tell me a joke, make me laugh. Just he and I in the club. I'm on the stage by myself in his club. This white guy sitting there looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I said, I went to this lady's house about 8:30 one night. She came home at 9:15, and I was standing behind the door. And he looked at me. I could see him jump. I know he was thinking, if I went at 8:30, she didn't come to 9:30, how did I get in the house? I know I had it with the joke. I said, when she walked in the house, I stepped out behind the door. I said, boo. She said, oh, Bobby Rush, you almost get my panties off. I said, boo, boo, boo. And he laughed. And I got the job. So I went to work in a lot of places then as a band leader, but I was also emceeing the show for myself at the Tramp. I would dress real nice up under. I put this big overalls on and suit on. I'm already dressed. I said, when I get through telling my jokes and making people laugh, I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's start time. Are y'all ready? Yeah, we're ready. Let's get together and get Bobby Rush. I would step behind the curtain, pull the hat off, pull the overalls off. I'm already dressed. Step back on the stage. And I would work like that.
Red Fox was blue comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
So the blues was in a lifestyle
That's right.
milieu with alcohol, comedy,
That's right.
and the music.
It don't get no blues than Red Fox, man. He would talk about you so bad, use some words as cursing that he make you
It had to be raunchy.
Oh.
Yeah, because the church stuff would be the non-raunchy.
Yeah, right, exactly. But when you're in Red Fox shoes or my shoes, especially anybody who is my age, especially in the black churches, you understand that the same people you see Saturday night, the same one you see Sunday morning, most of them. Only thing different, they'll be a little sober Sunday.
The sawdust is no longer on the floor.
Oh, man.
So Eddie Murphy, Dolomite Project, also had the comedy in the bluesy.
Oh, yeah, man. I got to tell you this. Jeff DeLille called me about a part. That was a guy in Memphis, one of the producers. And he wanted me to be in them. And he wanted this song, I Ain't Studying You, to be a part of this movie. So I told Jeff Lee, I said, I sure would like to meet Eddie Murphy because I know it out of a distance. I think I met him once, but I had never talked to him. I said, now I'm in this movie. I got a chance to bond with him with something. Just let him know how much I feel about it. When he got to the set, I didn't know he was in control of everything, but he was. He stopped the set, came up, hugged me, told me how much he appreciated my music. Eddie Murphy appreciated my music. The man know all about me. Very wise man, know about my music, just know about me. And I just wanted to meet him because I wanted to introduce him to me so he get to know who I am. Oh, he already knew that, you know. But that was a shot for me. And I didn't know what they expected of me. I said, what you need me to do? I thought they were going to bring me a strip. I said, no, you just do you. Here's another thing. Just meet me. So my guy said, well, you already doing this. I watched some of your clips. You already a comedian. You a movie actor already. Me? Little me? I said, well, just be you. Sure enough, I did. They did about 3 or 4 cuts. They were doing it to get different angles. And I said, well, what else you got for me? They said, well, we like what we got.
And you were playing, in a way, you from the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Because you were in a time warp in that movie.
I was in there. I was with them. I would throw the mic, you know?
All right, so this is reminding me of that era. Okay, so the 70s Rush Hour album, and that was a really good one. So you had Gamble and Huff. That's probably something that Eddie Murphy picked up when he was right at the right age.
That's right.
That was a pretty cool album. You had summarized into an album form what you'd gotten going with Chicken Heads in a way.
That's right. Right. Yeah. Everything I did with them was just a takeoff from things I had already done. But speaking about Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, I got real close to him and more close to Huff. And he was I had such great inspiration for the 2 guys. But they believed in me as a writer and a performer. I don't know what they saw in me they liked, but I just appreciate it. I don't know if I've met anyone that ever give me the kind of freedom to do what I want to do in these 2 people. I remember when I went to the studio with him one day, and he walked out the studio, left the engineer with me, drummer, said, he's a rhythm section. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Do what I want to do. What I want to do is go to Philadelphia and look over Kenny and Leon Huff shoulders and find out what they was doing as producer because they were so great. So I could learn from what they was doing. But they trusted me and liked what I was doing so much, they said, well, you do it. Nah.
And they had kind of built up a soul R&B stable of artists or something.
And
right?
they was a financially stable where they was getting ready to say, the hell with it, do some other thing. I guess they were trying to break me in. That's the only thing that I regret I didn't stick with them. But then I left there and come to Mississippi.
All right, so I do also have a copy of the Sue album, which was awesome. And so what was going on with that one?
When I came to Mississippi, Chuck Berry was in the studio cutting Ding-a-Ling. And the name of my song was Ding-a-Ling. So Chuck Berry and I had did a birthday party for Chuck Berry for 5 years. And Chuck Berry and his birthday party, I would do his birthday party. He would come out and pay me. I said, Bobby Rush, he said, I got to go down on my tractor. He's on the farm. He said, I'll be back shortly. That'll be on a Friday. I wouldn't see him no more till Monday.
It's a good party for him if he's not at it, right? All right, so now let's talk about Chicken Heads with Buddy Guy. What's going on in this recording?
Well, when I 50 years anniversary, really about 51 years, 50-year anniversary, Jeff Delia convinced me, said, listen, 30 Tiger Distributors, which is owned by Sony, you've been doing business with them for many, many years, and they love you, and you love them. Y'all got a good relationship. What if we put out a 50-year anniversary on Chicken Heads. I said, well, let me think about a few people. First thing I thought about, Quincy, I thought about Cap Moe. Then I kind of went over my head, and I thought about Tom Jones. That kind of went over my head. And I thought about Clapton, and I didn't have a contact on Clapton. I was going over to that town. He wasn't able to meet me to talk about those kind of. I would have a meeting with him through my manager and some other people that I had knew. I wanted to talk to him about a few other things I recorded. It didn't happen. So I kind of gave up on it. So Jeff D'Elia come to me, my manager, said, what if Buddy Guy do it? I said, well, let me talk to Buddy Guy. I talked to Buddy Guy. He said, yeah, man, whatever you want, Bobby Rush, I'll do it. And he got in touch with Kingfish manager. He said, yeah, I'll do it. Ones who was with Government Muse, when they was in town a few years ago, they would always invite me by their show, and I got a relationship with them. And I said, maybe he'll do it. So I said, okay, let's do it. Give him a shot at it. He said, I'll do it, Bobby Rush. I really love you and I love your style. And I didn't think much of that. But when he sent me a demo back that he'd done it, I said, this is a demo? He said, no, I recorded it. Recorded. He sent it back. It was a knockout. All I could say, I don't know how we're going to beat this out. So I recorded another way. Quite naturally, I recorded a little bit different. Then Kingfish recorded. Then I thought I had missed out on Buddy Guy. He said, send me some money up to let my producer go ahead and record it. So I paid for all this stuff. He sent it back to me. How you like it? I said, I like it. He said, Buddy Guy gonna put his vocal on it next week or two. I called Buddy. I said, Buddy, you gonna do this song? He said, I did it already yesterday. Got the song back. I loved it. I said, well, Jeff is in your hand now. Talking to my manager. We talked to the distributor. The distributor says it's going to be good. I think within 2 to 3 weeks, I could be less. Everything we pressed was sold out. It was an automatic sale because we had a limited press on it intentionally. I think maybe the only regret we have, we didn't press enough.
Now, that record struck me as being pretty hard-hitting.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's folks that are in their 80s.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the energy.
Everybody's ever.
It's reminding me of that era when they had the Electric
that's
Mud.
Right. Well, you're right.
Heavy.
When the Electric Mud came out, I was going to go to Paris with Muddy Waters. And they booed me in Muddy Waters that same year, or a year before, because of Electric. They were looking for me and Muddy to come as acoustic kind of thing. But the Electric Mud came out from electric guitar, and that just Chicken Head remind you of a 50-year anniversary of Chicken Heads. Remind me of that.
So maybe it's like a portal through time where things are coming back to some of these same sounds again. Because I'm reminded when I saw the Beatles put out the big movie of the Get Back and that era where they were chasing the sounds that got them interested in the business in the first place in the 50s probably.
Yeah.
Which was going back to a type of country blues with when they brought in Billy Preston, and they did Come Together, and you had done a version of that on the Upstairs at United.
Mm-hmm.
What was the circumstances that led to that one?
Well, I wanted to make sure that when I did Chicken Head, when I come to Calvin Carter in 1968 with the song Chicken Head, I wanted to make sure that I was in the pocket. People didn't feel the same way about this song back again by 50 years that they felt by the then. Let me explain to what I'm talking about. When I came to Calvin Carter, who had VJ Records in 68, I said, Calvin Carter, I got a record called Chicken Heads. Chicken Heads? What you mean by chicken head? Do you mean chick head? Leo Austell, who was a preacher and the pastor of a church with Calvin Carter. He said, we can't cut a record with no chick head, man. You know, rap music. Back in the day. I said, no, it's chicken head. He said, oh, yeah, you from down south. Y'all eat chicken head down south. I said, yeah. He said, but how do the song go? I said, Daddy told me on his dying bed, give up your heart, but don't lose your head. You came along, girl, what did I do? I lost my heart, my head went too, which had nothing to do with a chicken. And Calvin said, yeah, man, that's a good one. I'll show y'all from the top to the bottom. I took my guitar. I played that lick on top of it like that. That's the way the song goes. So you play it, Bobby Rush. So the guy said, well, I can do it from in there, Bobby Rush. Just sing from where you are. I took my guitar, sung the song, and started playing it. I started playing it like that. This guy said, that sound pretty good, man. Let's get it. After the other guy, 1, 2, and I counted off. Ba 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 down, down. I said, that's the way the song goes. Let's cut it. Ralph Bass said, good cut, man. Good cut. I didn't know he had the tape on. I was showing the guys how to play it, singing it at the same time. He said, good cut. Never cut it over, never overdub.
First take, best take.
First take.
Yeah.
That's how the record come by. Never had a piano on it, nothing. That was all it was. That was it.
And it was country-ish, and it was funky. And so then we talked a little bit earlier about the Nicky Hokey was kind of like in that world before that. It was the swampy.
I like Nicky Hokey because I'm from Louisiana, man. I'm from Homer, Louisiana, Haynesville, Louisiana. And it's relate to me because of Creole side of me. And I could relate to it because it was talking about Cajun kind of stuff. Way down in Louisiana, down in Cajun land. Folks got something down there called a K-Far Kitchen. I dig you on the Scooby-Doo, dig you on the Scooby-Doo, yo, poo you. Hey, yo, poo you. Get hip to the consultation, all the fool are we. Yeah.
So I first knew that from the Aretha Franklin version, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was Atlantic and Jerry Wexler and the...
Yeah. But I cut it before they cut it. It's right. Good stuff, though. So, Calvin Carter liked that record, and I wanted to cut it. And he was like, had some people from Louisiana. He just liked the song. But I wanted to cover the song, but I wanted to cover it in my way. So he went along with it.
Yeah, and so you've also been able to keep your production kind of lean and minimal, which is part of that kind of blues feel. But I was thinking of another one where you bring up like the stuff I smoke is too funky on Funky to Funk. So you play the rogue in the lyrics, but you're not really like that in real life.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, born to make love, y'all. I want everybody to know. I'm a November child. I'm a Scorpio. Bobby Rich is my name. Funky music, that's my game. Making love to my woman, my favorite thing. It gotta be funky. Anything I do, yo, gotta be funky. It's kind of like what I do. I'm a blues man, but I'm fucking with it. I think I'm the only blues man is down with the blues and funky. I believe I'm the only man around now play that kind of music and then play this kind of stuff. Call me the funky blues singer, 'cause I've been howling around your door. Will they call me the funky blues singer? 'Cause I've been howling all around your door. Give me what I want, little girl. You won't have to hear me. Wow, I laughed about that because that song remind me of Howlin' Wolf. Talking about he was a howling wolf. He been howling so long and made his tonsils so. Give me what I want. You want to hear me howl no more. You know, I just put it in a funky way. Those are the kind of things I do.
He had Howlin' for My Darling.
Yeah, howling,
That was a good one.
howl. Yeah.
Yeah, he started off with it was maybe kind of like
yeah.
a gimmick, but he built it into
Yeah,
part of
big part of
the act.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's
What same thing I do. I just showed you an example then. From the funk stuff to the blues stuff. I'm one of the few guys around now can go from this. Swing low, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride, and go from that to gospel to the country western. I'm one of the few guys left can, you know, Ray Charles could do it, but there ain't too many guys can go from that point to the next point and not lose the gut and grits of who you are, you know.
I was visualizing like a platter of Americana.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
different little food types
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
But I mean, it is just such
I
great
like
stuff.
that.
I'm just making this up. Anyway, so I am
like
so
that.
glad we had a chance to have this conversation. I'll
Well,
try to
thank
wrap
you.
it up a little bit. But, you know, this was tremendous. And, you know, you are the blues funk showman.
I'm on your plate, man. I'm on this plate.
Yeah, we're serving it up to everybody else.
Yeah.
Putting it on a platter for America. Once again, thank you very much, Bobby Rush.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you, and thank you for what you've done, what you're doing, what you plan to do, because what you do say about me, what people perceive me to be, or what we're going to do. This is just the beginning of what's coming.
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of the Soul Country Podcast with Bobby Rush, brought to you by Ace Production in association with the Blues Center. And a special thanks to Reed Mathis for our theme track, We Ride. Tune in again to Soul Country for more insight into culture and lore of roots music in our next program with Chris Thomas King. And find trailers, highlights, and playlists as well as a full archive of episodes at soulcountry.com.
Good God!